Lord Christ, when first you came to earth, upon a cross they bound you, and mocked your saving kingship's worth by thorns with which they crowned you. And still our wrongs may fashion now new thorns to pierce the steady brow, and round of sorrow round you. Oh, awesome love, which finds no room in life where sin denies you, and doomed to death shall bring to doom the power which crucifies you. Till not a stone be left on stone, and then the nations right o'erthrown will never more defy you.
Lord Christ, when first you came to earth, upon a cross they bound you, and mocked your saving kingship's worth by thorns with which they crowned you. We know that it actually happened in reversed order, that you were crowned with thorns before you were crucified, before you went to the cross. Thorns. We've all had the experience of a little splinter of wood, a thorn. We know how it can fester and how sore it is. It's the only thing we feel in our hands. And yet, when we look at the thorn that made up the crown of Christ, we actually here at St. Emma's have 2 or 3 of the actual kind of crowns of thorns. They're an inch long. They're terribly sharp. And to think that after Jesus was flogged, after he was scourged, after he had chunks of flesh thrown out from these metal-ended leather pieces, that he was so in loss of blood, but the insult that went with the crown of thorns. We see Queen Elizabeth crowned. We see those beautiful, beautiful royal crowns. And to think that Christ was crowned with thorns, the pain, the incredible pain. And they didn't just lay it on his head to make sure it didn't really pain him. No, they beat on it. They pushed it down. And then there was, of course, the bullying. It was the making fun of. It was being made sport of for being King of Kings. And that's who he was. And the verse says it so well, and he mocked your saving kingship's worth by thorns with which they crowned you. And what's worse, and still our wrongs may fashion now new thorns to pierce that steady brow, and robe of sorrow round you. So we think today of the crown of thorns, of the pain, the humiliation. And as was quoted last week, Jesus can only redeem what he took on, what he experienced. And so Jesus experienced this horrible pain. He experienced the bullying. He experienced being fun of for the very person who he was in a way that was so far beyond our comprehension. And so when we feel mocked or made fun of, when we feel piercing, excruciating pain, we can turn to Jesus, who knew the crown of cross. We ask his mercy, his forgiveness, and thanksgiving that he bore our sins. New advent of the love of Christ, will we again refuse you, till in the night
is dust, our boasting still. We await your revelation. Oh, love that triumphs over loss, we bring our hearts before your cross to